Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am David Game, and I am here to bring you a condensed version of the Paris Games Week Sony conference in 2015. Now, a few things were announced here, and a few things were somewhat rehashed and re-emphasized. Let's get straight down to it. Jim Ryan comes out, the president of Sony Computer Entertainment Europe, and does the intro. It was a very slow, obligatory pat on the back for their exclusives and their exclusive content. Then they spoke of the Ultimate Player Edition of the PlayStation Thor for 1TB at €399. Then, COD Black Ops 3 map packs will be available 30 days early on the PlayStation 4. Also, they then show the COD's Black Ops 3 Zombies, which the Giant Zombies bonus map day 1 with the Season Pass will be available to those that purchase that. Star Wars Battlefront was shown, Leia and Boba Fett, obviously Darth Vader, Han Solo was shown off, and we see a little bit of the Emperor taking on Luke. Then, the exclusive Darth Vader PlayStation 4 will launch alongside Battlefront when Battlefront comes out. And following that, the console exclusive Street Fighter V, and yes, I say console, yes, just, you know, that's what they said. Street Fighter V was shown, and Dalsim was revealed to be in this game. He is still as stretchy as he was, in fact possibly more stretchy, because next gen. Then, a name that I'm going to have difficulty pronouncing from Capcom turns up with a very peculiar headband. He announces that 6 additional characters for Street Fighter V will be available within the first year, and they will also be available to purchase with the in-game currency fight money that you can earn from fights in Street Fighter V. The release date of Street Fighter V will be Tuesday the 16th of February 2016, and the final character was not revealed, which was incredibly awkward. Kazuhira Harada, the producer of the Tekken series, came out as the supposed 16th character and had a bit of funny banter with Yoshinoro. And then it was revealed to essentially be a troll, but they'll reveal the 16th character at a later date. And again, back to Harada, Tekken series producer, of course, with news of this being the 20th anniversary of Tekken, and that Tekken 7 is coming to the PS4. They showed the latest trailer, which focused on family ties, as Tekken tends to do, and going to teach you about the past of the Mishima clan, which should be relatively interesting, depending on how they do it. Then we had 2K Gearbox. They showed off Battleborn. There's really not much to say about it. I mean, you're better off just watching the trailer in that sense. But, yeah, you know, it looks interesting. I'm reserved, but, you know, I'm more of a Borderlands guy. But this has shades of it all. Then the PlayStation 4 will get the beta first next year. Following that, we had PlayStation 4 console exclusives for 2016. 3 of them, and 1 of them may disappoint some people. Boundless, which looks an awful lot like No Man's Sky with a lot of strange portals to walk through. Vector is a music rhythm game from Avicii, which, okay, we'll see how that one works out. Doesn't look bad, doesn't particularly excite me. And, of course, the kicker for some people, No Man's Sky is officially pushed to 2016, but not only that, all the way to June, which was surprising to me. I really thought that would be a Q1 game for 2016. And I also thought it would be somewhat suicide to release it in 2015 with Fallout and whatnot coming out. Still, you know, at this point, I don't need to hear anything more about No Man's Sky until it launches, but June was a bit like, oh, okay then. Michael Denny comes out for Sony Worldwide Studios, I believe, and he speaks of Housemarque bringing their new game, Matterfall. It contains Housemarque's trademark art style that you'll be familiar with from the likes of Resogun, and the trailer was shown, which wasn't in-game footage, it was just a launch trailer, well, rather a reveal trailer. It looks cool, but I can't really tell at this moment in time. There's nothing to really judge. Then, Insomniac Games have shown their new Ratchet and Clank, which is coming in the spring. Now, I've heard that it might be a reboot, but I'm misremembering my stories at this moment in time. So, all you need to know is new Ratchet and Clank in the spring. Herman Holst, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, from Guerrilla Games talks more about Horizon Zero Dawn. We see Aloy hunting grazers for materials to craft gear, because apparently she's a master craftswoman, or craftsman, whichever you want to say. She uses the explosive tripwire to set up a trap for the grazers, and the alpha grazers fight back to prevent you hunting the rest of the herd. It's an action RPG, in case you didn't already know that. And you then see the fight with the big Thunderjaw. I didn't quite grasp what the second part... It was Thunder... Raw. Something. I think it's Thunderjaw. And the fight was pretty intense, actually. It's an extended version of what we saw at E3, and I believe it's probably what they saw behind closed doors. Bloodborne was shown again with more Old Hunters gameplay, and again that will be available on the 24th of November. Drive Club! Who could blame you for not being excited? But apparently it's a very good game now, and they've showcased the motorbikes. So, again, the title, Drive Club Bikes. Legitimately. And it's an expansion, or will be for sale as a standalone. Not only that, it's available to download immediately after the conference ends, which would be about now or long before now, depending on how long YouTube takes to update this video, upload even. So yeah, if you're a Drive Club fan, fantastic. I'm personally surprised that when they announced something, it came out immediately. It seems like a karmic callback. Gravity Rush 2, the director Keiichiro Toyama, if I'm, again, terrible at pronouncing these names, he speaks on Gravity Rush 2. He shows off the brand new combat system in which you can switch between 3 gravity styles, the original from the original game, the Lunar style, which is lighter and faster, and the Jupiter style, which is heavier but you are more powerful in it. You can also do tag team attacks, and it looks like a lot of fun. I mean, the way the environments fall apart as you fight, it seems interesting. Then Christophe Balestra of Naughty Dog comes out. He speaks more to the Uncharted 4 upcoming release, and particularly about the multiplayer. He tells of the multiplayer beta coming on the 4th of December through to the 13th. And a video of the multiplayer was shown featuring a lot of the supernatural elements. Now, I only got round to Uncharted during the Nathan Drake collection, which I reviewed for My Games Lounge, so I'm not too familiar with the multiplayer aspect. However, this looks interesting, the way that you can use these supernatural things that are in the Uncharted lore to your advantage. It seems pretty cool. I hope that people like the look of it. Personally, I'm not a big multiplayer guy. Then, Denny returns. One more Naughty Dog round of applause, followed by Media Molecule and Dreams being introduced. Alex Evans and Mark, I apologise, but the second name escapes me, they tell us more. And it's still in alpha, so what we're seeing still isn't the final product, but they did want to elaborate on what the game is, as I imagine they understand that it's a bit confusing from the E3 trailer. It wasn't exactly a revelation of any kind. So apparently you have your own imp, and it works as a mouse cursor, and the imp can possess practically anything for you to take control of in the world and, you know, manipulate to your own liking. Personally, I'm still not sold on this. It does look ambitious, and the beta is coming in 2016, so I'll probably try that. But I've never been a big Little Big Planet guy. I've never been a big creation kind of person. I kind of like my games to be created for me so I can play them, call me crazy. But still, I admire what Media Molecule are doing. They are very intelligent people down there. So we'll see what comes of this game, and honestly, I see it going the way of Project Spark, but, you know, I hope it doesn't turn out that way. Then, praise be to Shuhei. Yes, Colin and Greg are probably smiling with joy as Shuhei Yoshida takes the stage. He's the president of Sony Worldwide Studios, in case you didn't know. He talks a great deal about PlayStation VR, the virtual reality headset that PlayStation will be, releasing at some point in time. We found out the new name back at the Tokyo Game Show in September, and here he states that 8 games will be playable at Paris Games Week. So if you are there, I hope you're enjoying them, and I hope you've got some write-ups going on, because I really want to know. I've heard enough about it, but I really need to get my own personal hands on. Then he shows off some focused rigs footage to accentuate the social aspect of PlayStation VR, to show that it's not all isolating. Now, the footage was more marketing hype than it was convincing me to purchase this thing, but honestly, I'm probably going to buy this VR headset regardless, so I just hope they're making some good stuff. Speaking of making interesting stuff, a new title was announced for PlayStation VR, Until Dawn Rush of Blood, built exclusively from the ground up for the PlayStation VR, developed by Supermassive Games, the guys that actually developed Until Dawn, and it's going to be like a horror roller coaster. Seems interesting. I'm intrigued. Crytek's, that name is ridiculous to pronounce. I'm going to say Kavat Yerli, and I hope I'm correct. If not, I apologise. He reveals a PlayStation VR exclusive Robinson The Journey using the Cry engine. It looks pretty good, nothing overly special, but again, PlayStation VR games, it seems like you've got to play them to understand how immersive they're going to be, so it's not really going to trailer well. Then Battlezone was shown for PlayStation VR, and it's coming first to that platform. Shuhei returns and shows how movies work in PlayStation VR with the new film The Walk. It has interactive tightropes for people. They're all falling all over the place, like, oh, I'm going to fall off the rope. Fair play to them. 200 developers are currently working on PlayStation VR, and they showed a supercut of many of the projects. Jim Ryan returns and talks about Tekken 7 coming to PlayStation VR, which was actually a surprise to me. I didn't expect a fighting game to reach that point. And with new PlayStation 4 titles to be announced, we finally see Polyphony returning with Gran Turismo Sport. I'll just hold for a second while some of you get super excited. Now, the Gran Turismo creator was put on stage afterwards, Kazunori Yamauchi, and again, I could be mispronouncing, and he talks about why they wanted to go with Gran Turismo Sport. There will be 2 cups running simultaneously throughout the year, a Nations Cup, where you represent your nation in the races, and a Manufacturer's Fan, where you kind of choose your allegiance to a manufacturer and race against other teams. So the championships themselves will be awarded alongside the real-life racing championships, like where Lewis Hamilton receives his awards and whatnot. The people that play that game will also receive their awards alongside them, apparently so. The beta will launch in early 2016, and they are planning compatibility with PlayStation VR. So, all round, it looks pretty cool. In terms of actually judging Gran Turismo Sport from this moment, honestly, I can't really do that. But I gave Forza a 10. What was it? Yep, Forza 6, if I'm not mistaken. It's my brain is all mashed up. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So, again, another name that's going to be difficult to pronounce. Michel Ancel is on the stage talking about Wild, which is coming exclusively for the PlayStation 4, supposedly. More details were shared in a new trailer. You play as a shaman, or however you want to pronounce it, and you utilise your abilities to meet your goals, because, no duh. You take control of animals with your abilities. For instance, the first thing was he used an eagle to hunt a snake. And then you build relationships with animals to have them follow you on your journey. He calls a bear, he rides a bear, he swims with a bear. He takes control of a rabbit, he sneaks into the enemy camp, he takes control of a raven to distract the enemies with an ambush, and then he summons a snake divinity to learn how to make an antidote for the clanmate's poison issue. That nasty bit of thing that'll kill him. And of course, we are joined by David Cage of Quantic Dream, and he does love to talk. A trait shared by us Davids. Anyway, he announces Detroit Become Human. He shows the trailer. It seems like a futuristic tale of an android seeking their humanity, or as it developed, more so about an android seeking to not be abused by humanity. It's an interesting take. I am apprehensive of David Cage's whimsical kind of, he likes to come out and hype his games, and we all know how that works out with Beyond Two Souls. It wasn't fantastic. Heavy Rain was, it was good. I'm still in the I wasn't wowed by it camp, but this looks really promising, so I am hoping that Quantic Dream come through and it's not just something that inspired Until Dawn to be so good. And that's pretty much it. They wrap up with a thank you to the players and finish off with a supercut trailer of, the games coming out soon. Anyway, that has been the Paris Games Week 2015 Sony conference. I've been David Game. You can find me on Twitter at SpitfireDG. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/DavidGameUK. And you can find me pretty much anywhere else if you look hard enough. Seriously though, you can catch me at My Games Lounge, and most of my reviews, all of my content, you can catch me over on YouTube, SpitfireDG 2010. That's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the condensed version of the conference. Not as condensed as TGS, mind you, but still I did my best. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and as always, Bizzle.